Dark and nave on the hunt for the old, through jungles of film where stories unfold. Lost in the wild where the treasures breathe, cinematic beasts in a celluloid reef. Temples of wonder, those silver screens glow, seeking out legends where the shadows grow. Echoes of realms forgotten by time, scriptures of adventure laid out in rhyme. Oh, it is of the lost genre, travel through the past to the future unknown. Oh, it is of the lost genre, searching for the myths where the legends are sold. Maps made of memories and fables untold, golden reels where the stories are bold, whispering ghosts of a bygone scene, following traces of the dreams unseen. Dive into the depths of the celluloid sea, dark and deep, searching for eternity. Dust of the classics and the gems that shine, uncover the mysteries buried in time. Through the reels of thunder and the frames of gold, through the legends of tales, both young and old. Lost in the moments of the shadow's breath, ride with the winds to the movie's death. Oh, it is of the lost genre, travel through the past to the future unknown. Oh, it is of the lost genre, searching for the myths where the legends are sold. Through the reels of thunder and the frames of gold, through the legends of tales, both young and old. Lost in the moments of the shadow's breath, ride with the winds to the movies death.
Outside racks in the attic, ain't no stopping his flow. Always battling Marty, he's the music biz flow. Hot pockets on the menu, that's the way it goes. Side racks, the drift king, nobody knows. Gonna spit the fire, drop the beats like a pro. He's the one and only, watch him steal the show. Living in the attic where he lets his talent grow. Side racks, the drift king, put your hands up, here we go. Every day's a battle, side racks ain't backing down. Marty's in his face, always wearing that frown, but Cyrax got the rhythm, making all heads spin round. The drift king in the zone, he owns this town.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Dave. This is FFOP Radio. Welcome to it. It's Wednesday. I've got a little... It's different than what we usually do on Wednesday. Usually we do like commercials, but I've got more training videos. One is definitely vintage. The other one is questionable, of dubious origin, if you will. Let me introduce my co-host and producer off camera. There's Krista.
Hi.
So here we have it, guys. So, really quick, I want to shout out this channel. It's just training videos. All they put out is training videos. Tragically undersubscribed to if you like this sort of content. But I've got a couple, maybe just one thing I want to show you besides the training. Since, everybody loves the 90s, I love the 90s. What I want to show you guys, it's a little something I did on my other channel. This is a 90s sitcom intro that I scripted out and with the help of my co-host. I just want to show it to you because
it's my favorite intro of the entire.
So this is from Raiders of the Lost Genre. You heard the theme song earlier. This is the intro to The Last Dinosaur. If you're interested in the episode, which you will be because The Last Dinosaur is one of the best 70s dinosaur movies starring Richard Boone I've ever experienced. So please sit back and enjoy this, I hope. And there you have it, folks. There's the intro to The Last Dinosaur from Raiders of the Lost Genre, the other show I'm on. I wanted to show you that because I feel like it doesn't get enough eyes. I mean, I watch it a lot, and I think it's funny.
Love all the names. Drux Looster.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort, obviously. So if you want to check out Scott Vaughn's channel, Raiders of the Lost Genre is the show. It's one of my personal favorite projects on hiatus. Who knows if it's ever coming back. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So first of all, I've got a little bit of material from McDonald's. If we make it all the way through that and you guys, pass the certification for handling burgers, we'll move on to pizza because I got a little Chuck E. Cheese action going on too.
Ooh.
Let me get this out of the way.
I hope they're singing.
For the McDonald's one, I don't believe so. I scrubbed through it just to make sure that it's all
there
and it's all usable. It's all good. The title cards are hilarious. We'll get into it. So just buckle up. It's time to learn how to do something at McDonald's because you don't really flip anything. Like when I worked at Burger King, you didn't flip a damn thing. You put the patties on the broiler. I don't know how McDonald's does it. They have some sort of radioactive waves or something. But you put the burgers in the giant pizza oven, essentially. Same thing. The metal conveyor. Never flipped a damn thing. They just go through and they come out cooked.
What was the song that we heard, that rap song? Was that Burger King? The training video on flipping burgers?
That was Wendy's.
Or Wendy's. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wendy's, they still use a grill and they flip those patties. I think Wendy's and In-N-Out are probably the only ones who still use.
Okay. Yeah, probably.
Because look back through the window of the Carl's Jr., the Burger King. God knows what you're going to see in McDonald's. It looks like a fucking spaceship back there. But, there are still people using fire, but the ones who aren't using the flip technique. So here we go, McDonald's. Safety last, right, guys? Wow, who put his food to his tray? It's kind of a bummer. It only comes out of one ear, mostly.
I was like,
Safety.
I can't hear.
It's more than a word. It's an attitude you bring to your job every day. And safety's built into every procedure you'll learn at McDonald's.
You can see this dude's eyes follow the cue cards. I assume it's a cue card because this is probably before teleprompters, and even though, why would there be?
Ryan says, so glad to be here. I had a great day today. I went on a date and we saw the 25th anniversary sing-along version of South Park movie, and this is a perfect cap to this day.
How depressing, Ryan. Not your date, not all that's great. I love that part. But the fact that the South Park movie is 25 years old,
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that.
So basically, if you do your job the right
Basically.
way, you'll do your job the safe way. But it's worth considering a few reminders,
any way I
because
can
the
make this-
potential for
Nope.
accidents is always there. Accidents, like slips and falls, burns, fires, and injuries from lifting
All the things.
can be prevented.
Burns and fires. You might see a fire but not get burned, and you might get burned and not experience a flame. That's McDonald's knowledge they're dropping.
All you have to do
McKnowledge.
is follow the tips you'll hear about as we go on. You'll also learn where to find information that will help you safely use the many cleaning solutions and chemicals found in the restaurant.
Look at your MSDS sheets, number one. But number two, the really quick about McDonald's, they're the only, maybe I just haven't been into one in a while, but they're the only fast food restaurant who, like, their managers, like, dress like,
A manager?
I don't know how to describe it. They have, like, a tie. There's always a collared shirt. And, like, nowhere I've ever worked, I don't know. That's the thing. What I'm getting at here is I don't know if the higher-ups at McDonald's think that people will take a person in a shirt and tie more seriously, or if it's a cruel joke because they're at McDonald's. And if, like, that, it's like the McDonald's is the butt of every joke, right? So, like, having a McDonald's manager with a little McDonald's tie and everything come, because that's the thing. I had a buddy who was a manager at McDonald's. He didn't take shit, but he got a lot of shit. We were there, me and my friends. He was on the job. Some dude comes in. So if you have, like, Mexican restaurants, like little tiny ones where you are, they'll sometimes give you those little tiny, like, half an ounce shots of salsa, red or green. Filiberto's here, local reference. Dude came in with a pocket full of them, drunk off his ass, right? Sat down, started drinking these little salsas out of his pocket. They started hassling us. And so, of course, he gave my friend shit because he was the manager with the tie and everything. And he's like, oh, you work at McDonald's. Dude kicked his ass out. I couldn't believe it. Like, this was something that could have wound up, like, on Unsolved Mysteries, where he just gets stabbed 40 times as I watch in horror and the dude disappears into the night.
The salsa man.
Or pulls a gun or whatever. Because this dude was, like, legit belligerent and drunk. You know, dude was a tall dude, though. So
Maybe he
kicked his
got
ass
some
right
good
out.
McDonald's training to add to that tie.
That's the thing, though. This was not based in any training. This was not something he was, like, prepared for corporately, because he told the dude several times to get the fuck out. Like, after he got belligerent.
Best
Yeah.
of all, you'll learn about this from some outstanding safety experts.
Oh, I can't wait. Like, this
Starting
guy?
with Chris.
This is the Hamburglar back here. Look at him. The bar of his shirt.
Excuse me, sir. Be careful. The floor's damp.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bye-bye, man. Salsa man.
Salsa man.
No problem. Have a nice day.
Hey, just in case you couldn't... Hold on. You can't see me. Or you can't see me because I'm in the way. Let me get my ass out of the way. Hey, old dude, just in case you can't see, I'm holding a mop. I'm a dude in a burglar outfit, and this is slippery. Old dude, got that? Cool. Now watch the fuck out.
Fosco says, I'm 15 minutes late. Totally on brand for a fast food employee. Well, you missed the sitcom intro.
Check it out in reruns, man.
The thing is, people drop things on the floor.
What?
Food, ice.
Not on the
So
ceiling?
you're always cleaning up. But even the cleaning up, like you saw, can cause some big problems.
Especially if you're King Cobra JFS. I mean, they may employ you for a while, but after you keep fucking up the teas and showing up late, and then not showing up, and the next day showing up like a clown with blue dye all over your face, they might fire you too.
The biggest problem, and this really surprised me, is shiny floors. Most people think shiny floors are a good thing,
But they're
not
not.
in our
Slippery.
restaurants. If the floors are shiny, it's because they're greasy. Floors should look dull,
Just like my face.
no shine, and no
What's
slip.
up, Rusty Gamer?
So I
Welcome.
wash the floors using the McD floor care system in every mop bucket. Not McD all-purpose cleaner, and not with
That's the secret ingredient to the McDLT. There's the McD right there. I'm gonna McLose it.
water alone. With the McD floor care system, you don't need to rinse or use a second mop. Your manager or crew trainer will show you all the steps. And I always use a caution
How many
sign
could
and
there
keep an
be? You
eye
don't
out
have to
for
rinse-
customer traffic. Also, make sure you
I
never walk
finally
away
caught
from
my
the
first
cleaning
live stream.
materials.
Glad you're here.
I'm also especially careful
Bigger
cleaning the floor near the
hamburger.
grills and fryers. I never leave anything in the aisles that could cause someone to trip or fall.
I mean, not for Fosco, since you brought it up, not for nothing. Like, the only time, like, oh, man, I don't even know. Like, the most hostile people I've worked with were at fast foods. And I was in the trades where people were, like, actively doing speed and meth and, like, getting drunk and turning those big blue wire nuts into one-hitter weed pipes. Never had a problem. But my short tenure at Burger King saw a dude that I swore was going to murder my manager. He gave her nothing but shit and, like, aggressive shit, but she was a bitch too. But here's the reason why I thought he was going to kill her, because they were always at each other's throats, and then just one day it was me and him, like, in the drive-thru, and I was like, hey man, I can't open this box. You got a knife or something handy? He whips out a butterfly knife and does like a little 8-second thing, goes whoosha, and then back into his pocket. I go, goodbye Maria, you're fucking Deadsville.
When you help on cleanup, you see a lot of things. You might see a pothole in the
Use
parking lot
condoms.
or a crack in the
Are you supposed to, like, repair the masonry, dude?
sidewalk. These can cause accidents, so let a manager know about them. When it's cold outside, watch for snow and ice. Snow and ice buildups on the roof should be removed when you see them. Use ice melt to keep the walkways clear.
This would have been excised from the Arizona training tape.
Yeah.
And finally, the right type of shoes
Oh my
will
God.
prevent you from having slip and fall accidents.
Take your grandfather's shoes from his closet and have them resoled in rubber instead of leather, and you're got the job.
Need shoes with non-skid soles.
Jesus.
Tennis shoes, gym shoes, and sneakers.
And P.S., aren't these the worst fucking laces on the planet?
How do
Just
you
like?
you can't tie them?
Yeah, they're
so
annoying.
stiff.
Every dress shoe I had growing up had those, like, square cut, non-sniglet or whatever they're called. God, it was just on an episode of Forensic Files where they're like, the things on the end of the shoelaces are called, and
The
I
little
forgot.
things that are wrapped in plastic.
Yeah.
Huh.
Doesn't matter. You don't have them here. You just have a bunch of raw ass, like, untreated practically leather. Like, it's still a cow. It was a pain in the ass. It would, like, give my fingers rug burn and shit. It's the worst.
Yeah, those shoes will fall right off. Hashtag
Waffle
Woolgate 2024.
Oh man, Fosco, you think Heel Hauser, these were his work shoes? Like, before he found California? You're not from California, so you don't know Heel Hauser. But he had some waffle stompers on his ass.
Sneakers can
Eyelets.
increase
Eyelets,
your chance
thank
of
you.
accidents. So keep your
I like
eyes open
sniglets.
and follow these.
Sniglets is the word for things that don't exist. And I think eyelets were one of those until someone was like, let's just call them something, right? Ryan, history?
No slip, no fall tips from Chris, and you can't miss.
Amazing. Time for some birds.
Burns can happen if you're not careful. You've got to keep an eye out for yourself.
Man, look at all the medals she won. It's like,
Lots of burn medals.
yeah, it's like the purple fry and the service with, like, extra mustard and others.
And the other people you're working with.
I like
In the
the
grill
little,
and fryer areas,
like,
there are
emblem
lots
here
of
too,
places
like
to
the
use
crown,
caution.
the laurel.
Even though you're having fun, you need to be thinking. Make sure you
And
always
you'll always be having fun working at McDonald's.
Seriously.
use the right utensils and put them back in the proper place. When cleaning the grill, use the squeegee across the back of the grill so you don't touch the top platen and burn your hand.
Does that grill
The
still
bun
exist?
spatula should always be put back in its proper place. Be sure to use the proper utensils when removing product from the holding cabinets. And be careful around all equipment procedures that involve steam. Steam will burn very quickly and severely.
Right, that's true. I was a chef at a cafe for a little while, and I have a lot of burns. Like, one specifically, I mean, you can't really, it's kind of faded, but, like, I was taking a giant cookie sheet out of the oven, because when you're baking at a cafe, you need a fuck ton of shit. So I had a 3x2 cookie sheet and oven mitts that went up to the elbow, so I'm fine. Grabbed the cookie sheet. I go, this is working out great. Did a little bump with my hip to close the oven, which made the cookie sheet slide down the mitt and come in contact with my arm right here where this burn is. You can't really see it. And I'm so dedicated to my craft, whatever it be at the time, I just let it burn my ass because there were so many cookies on the tray. I just go clank and go, tss, I could hear my skin boiling. Ah! Put the cookies down, jumped into one of those big wash tubs full of cold water. Just look at the scar.
Bosco says, please don't pick your head scabs while preparing the food.
Yeah, you know what? Those like wafting off and falling onto a burger like an autumn leaf, right? Blech.
Oh, yeah. Ryan says, I
When
may have said this
dropping
before,
product
but when I
in
worked at Red
be
Robin, our
careful
grill
not to
cook
splatter
had
the
a
hot
seizure on the job and landed face first on the grill. He survived, but with third-degree burns.
Yeah, man. Like, that's the thing. There are just some things that are just not for some people. And you're not, I guess, if I were, you got to be self-aware, right? If you have a seizure disorder, if you're epileptic, like I wouldn't work around fire or that sort of shit. Because, like, people without any, I don't even know what you call it, disease or whatever, defect, will still do shit like that. I sat next to a guy in high school and he was just like, brought his head down to his desk because he was reaching into his book bag, right? So the desk was right here and he goes, boom, and smashed his head.
Oh my God.
Onto the desk. And he had just like the whole class stopped and turned around and there he was concussed.
Hot shortening.
One of the
This
many
would
ways
cause
he
burns
won
on
Lady
hands and
over.
arms.
Hashtag chicks dig
Also,
scars.
never allow
Same.
water to get in the vats. And when you're taking the basket out, make sure you drain it for about 10 seconds. You don't want to spill any shortening on yourself or the floor when transferring it.
Yeah, no, it was roughly like the time it took you to give it one shake, maybe two if you were an extra careful employee when I worked at Burger King. It's happened to Matt. Again, you know, whatever. Because I worked at Burger King when they changed to their new fries. Remember when they did that? New, better fries. Sucked. Hate them. Hated them. Love the old fries. The only time I could eat the new fries it was like right out of the fryer. They had to be so hot that it would literally burn away my taste buds. And I go, these aren't bad. As soon as they dropped 1 degree under like flesh ruining, terrible.
Of course, when you're filtering the shortening,
God!
you gotta wear the right safety equipment. That's the special face mask, coated apron, and safety gloves. So to avoid burns, just remember these burn-free tips from Tanya.
Watch out.
If it's hot, stay cool, think twice, and be safe.
Do I have to remember that whole thing?
That's a lot. Now lifting and reaching too?
Hey, Chris, what's the problem? You can't carry 3 boxes?
Hey, two's it for me.
What a pussy! You're fired!
There's always some lifting and reaching in our jobs, and what works for one person, like how much they can carry without hurting themselves, may not work for someone else. So you've got to think for yourself. There's a wrong way to do it and a right way. Here's the right way. Always lift with your legs, not your back. Bend your legs, then pick up the load.
Prison
Lift
outfit.
with your legs bent.
That's the thing about these outfits, man. I don't recall seeing like horizontal stripes at all during my life at McDonald's, but I wasn't giving much of a shit back then. So
Don't
Fosco
twist or
says,
straighten
I
your
worked at
legs out
Burger
all the
King when
way.
they dropped the 2,000
Keep the load
calorie
close to your
breakfast
body.
sandwich. The
And then only
enormous?
lift what you can carry easily
You wouldn't
and safely.
believe how many people got a few of
Make
those
sure you can see
daily.
above.
Fosco, let me tell you a quick story. So my last job, right? I got hired. Like every job I ever go to, I get hired, I start at the bottom rung. Because I know that I'm smart enough to climb a fucking ladder. That being said, the first rung at my last job, I had to hang on for so long because on the second rung was a person I called the Hog Beast. She was a woman so large and so disgusting. I'll save the disgusting whatever. We'll just talk about how fat she was. She was so fat that during our 8-hour shift, she would fall asleep for roughly 4 to 5 hours of it, sitting up. Her head wouldn't even fall down. It would just be us working in the room, me working. I was working, doodly-doo. You could hear my keyboard. I was clicking the mouse because I was working. And then when I would stop and think like, well, how do I, for any reason, I would say, why is it so quiet in here? And then I'd hear like a faint. And there would be this 600-pound woman in the most depressed office chair in the world, even more depressing than the fat detective who, creaked his way through Stiven's interrogation. And so the reason why I'm telling you this story is she would bring in an ungodly amount of breakfast sandwiches and nachos and shit like that. So one day after she had fucked off or went to the bathroom or whatever, I gingerly picked through her garbage and just did a quick calorie count of the one meal she had of the 3 she would have over the 8-hour period. I calculated her meal at 5,000 plus calories.
It's insane. Yeah. Crazy.
One meal, breakfast sandwiches to the head, like nachos, and she would drink the cheese like a dying man in the desert drinks a gallon of water. There she was.
Yes, Matt. David cut his hair.
Thank you.
He looks like he would say the lawyer now. Better. More so than long hair.
Yeah.
New Dave. Dave's fresh new look has him looking like Sunreal.
Her poor toilet. Her poor fucking everything. Okay, fine. I told you I wasn't going to tell you the gross part, but here's the thing. So at one point, her and my boss at the time were like thick as thieves. So the hog beast was getting kicked out of her trailer, who she also lived in with her sister, a slightly lighter version of her. And by lighter, I mean she was 50 pounds lighter, just by visual. She would show pictures and shit. She goes, yeah, I've got to rent a carpet cleaner this weekend because I want to get my cleaning deposit back because there's just stains on my carpet. And my boss at the time, he goes, oh, well, that's not bad. Like how big are the stains? She's like, well, I mean, not big, not huge. And so she goes, the smallest one's about like, and she does one of these and pulls up a legal pad, a yellow legal pad. You've seen them. She goes, smallest one's about this big.
You think that would be the biggest?
Like someone came in, like rolled into her apartment or trailer, like with a leaky lawnmower and just let it sit there for 6 months as like it dripped fluids. Thick in a bad way, man. Like, oh my God. That's the thing. I used to be into fat girls. No easy way to put it. But the proportions had to be right? They could be big, but the thighs and the breasts needed to be the proper proportions. This bitch was a butt plug of a human being who didn't even need to lay down or even relax the muscles of her neck to just fall asleep. Jesus.
I've heard him say a butt plug of a person regarding her so many times, but it still gets me.
She is.
Use a step stool when things are out of reach.
I'm saying, like, Ryan, you know what I'm talking about. You like the larger ladies. You get those huge thighs, those huge boobs. That's great. As long as the hourglass figure is intact, I'll take a big hourglass, right? But if that hourglass slowly sinks into like a ball of dough that just some poor baker is going to like throw into an oven to try and beat Guinness Book of World Records largest loaf, I go, Jesus Christ, bro.
And when you reach,
I said
don't
to
twist
her.
your back. In the grill and fryer areas, make sure you can see what you're reaching
Just jump
over.
into the
There are a lot of hot surfaces in this area. To avoid injuries, the main thing is knowing when...
That's the thing, Fosco. Like, E.T. had a neck, right? Like, you could look at E.T. and go, like, that's the head. It transitions smoothly into a neck and then the body. If E.T. were like the shape of a barrel, I'd be onto something.
knowing what's right for you and doing it.
Fires
Start some
happen
fires.
when we're careless. So take the time to care. In order to prevent fires, you should be aware of and watch for certain things, like greasy filters. Grill
Sparks.
filters should be
Gasoline.
clean and not greasy. Your manager
As
will
if.
show you how to take care of them. Also, when filtering the fryers, make sure they're turned off. Otherwise, they can catch on fire.
Those weed from the drive-thru.
As a safety precaution, make sure you know how to use the fire extinguishers. The Class BC
Ryan's
extinguisher is
sister
used in the grill
accidentally
area.
dropped
The Class ABC
her hat to the deep fryer at Wendy's.
How does that happen? I've never. I mean, that's the thing. There's plenty of. With zero training, I made it through Burger King and every other fast food job I've ever had alive because you just don't do stupid shit, right? Like, you know, if you're a clever boy or girl, you go, well, this shit's hot and that shit's heavy and this is like a huge hazard. And you say, thank you, come again.
ABC extinguisher is used in the drive-through, dining room, and storage areas. Make sure all the extinguishers are in working condition.
Okay, so here are some points possibly for you to win there are 3 types of fire extinguishers. If you can tell me them, I'll give you 100 points. Maybe I'll put your name up here where Michelangelo is. And if you can tell me what each of them are good against, I'll give you 1,000 points because that shit's fucking crazy.
You can tell if they're properly charged by looking at the gauge. Here's how they work. Stand away from the fire about 5 to 10 feet. Pull the safety pin. As in this demonstration, squeeze the handle and sweep back and forth until the fire is extinguished. Aim the nozzle at the base of the fire.
It should be the pass method.
Well, this is probably predates the pass method, but here's the thing. All the people I have been around during, not even emergencies, like something happens and you go, oh, it might be an emergency, it might turn into that. I was like the only one to remain calm. Like I've seen people use fire extinguishers and fail at putting out a fire.
Mm-hmm.
I've also seen 17,000 hours of proper fire.
Pull, aim, spray, sweep, or whatever. Sweep, spray.
Yeah, and but that thing, people like, whatever. This is a bit of real life training material that is not a joke, right? When they're probably going to talk about it here too. But aim at the shit that's on fire, right? Like the wood, the floor, the whatever it is, because the base is where the fire is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Morons will try to aim for the flames like they're trying to cut its hair, and that's not how you do it. Because fire, it's pretty ethereal. Stuff just passes through it. It's like when you stick your hand over a candle, whoop, it doesn't burn you.
Fosco says, oh man, there's a real one, a gag one, and one that shoots beer. That's
Bingo.
all 3.
Yeah, the gag one is my favorite. When all the snakes pop out and they just blast off into fire.
Ryan says dry chemical, water, and CO2.
That is correct. The dry chemical ones are the craziest because, like, I don't know. Like, when you grow up, you see cartoons, you think fire extinguisher is just full of water.
Yeah.
But if you don't use the right extinguisher on the right fire, you can kill yourself, which is fun, right? Like, hey, there's a fire. Do we have the right extinguisher? Pull the pin
It's
and find out.
crazy because majority of like places only have the one. Like I worked at like, you know, obviously we've all worked at a lot of places, and I've only ever seen the one.
Here's the thing. I imagine like the dry chemical ones probably work more often than not, but like the CO2 and the water ones are highly specific.
If it's in the
Fire extinguishers are like grenades. Pull that pin and throw the entire thing at the fire.
The Ansel system.
It's not rocket
and when
surgery.
it blows up. But Fosco, you've seen those fire extinguisher grenades then, right? I like that. It's weird you say that because I can't remember what social media platform I saw this, but somebody invented like a fire extinguishing grenade where they go boop, whoosh, and it either blasts like an ultrasonic thing that kills the fire, or it blasts out a bunch of CO2 or something. But it's amazing. These firefighters are like, whoop, and it goes, poof, done.
That's
System
crazy.
is the automatic extinguisher over the grill and fryer area. Make sure you also know how to use this system.
Right, but like the paper wooden cloth, like you never find that unless you're like working in like Ron Swanson's wood shop, right?
System.
But there'd be lacquer in there, so I wouldn't use that
pull the
either.
handle located at the side of the grill or fryers, and the system automatically releases. Let your manager know if you notice any fire hazards, like a gas odor. That could mean there's a leak, a frayed electrical cord, or a
I'm
hot or
afraid.
broken electrical box. We've covered the tools for putting out fires.
No one gives a shit about broken electrical boxes. Like, zero shit's given. I was an electrician for 10 years of my life. Like, the amount of restaurants that I went in to do service for were like let's say, for example, right, Olive Garden, their big stainless steel prep tables, under those are typically outlets for the various shit that happens. Those get so full of pasta water and sauce. Like, I can't believe it. Olive Gardens exist.
Oh, no.
Like, we went into one and we're like, oh, well, all these outlets are like, something's up with them. They keep tripping the breakers. And they're full of fucking pasta sauce and shit.
But your best safety tool
I ain't
is
afraid
your
of
own
no
eyes.
cord.
Because when you care, you're careful. And that makes us all safe.
Yay, the more you
In addition
full
to
of
the
care.
safety tips you've just learned,
Oh, God.
it's my special responsibility to tell you about some of the
This
chemicals
is the first acting job of Ensign Harry Kim, right?
found in the restaurant and how to safely use them. These chemicals are always stored away from paper and food products. In most cases, these chemical cleaning solutions...
What do you think these people are up to? It's been 30 years since they've recorded this. They're probably... Oh, man. Isn't that... It's a terrible thought experiment to run, because like even the people you think should be on Easy Street, like old school wrestlers, and you see them like at Comic-Con trying to make $5. I mean, these people are probably better off than them.
...are no stronger or more toxic than those used in your own home. But some of the chemicals are considered hazardous under federal or state government regulations.
Government, right?
Even some home detergents are often considered to
I
be
want an
hazardous
Animal
chemicals.
House style ending
fact
where they
is,
where we get a
McDonald's-
blurb about where they all end up.
Yeah, but like somebody would have to go and do that like today to be like, hey, what's up with that? Because like the half-life of this is like, you think that guy has like an IMDb page? Like started off a McDonald's training video and then took to the...
Approved operating supplies
This guy reminds me of the
are
American Dad
completely
episode where the
safe
Chinese
when
billionaire
used according
buys
to
the show.
manufacturer's instructions.
Another weak-ass
So the way
episode.
to avoid accidents with chemicals is to know how to use them.
Chinese are
federal
billionaire.
regulations, the hazardous communication standard requires that all hazardous chemicals be labeled. All chemicals used in McDonald's restaurants have labels that tell you where to use them, why it is considered hazardous, how to handle them safely, and what to do if something goes wrong. For example, if you spill or inhale the chemical. Secondary
Drown.
containers, like spray bottles, must also be labeled.
I have watched the Orville. It's been a while since I've seen it because it scratched the itch left in TNG's wake. But I think Seth MacFarlane is kind of a hack in some respects because he wants nothing more than to just relive his childhood with all of his Family Guy money. So it was fine until the veneer sort of wears off and you realize you're just watching someone cosplay as Picard. Meh.
Look for the name of the solution.
Plus, their android sucked. It wasn't even an android, right? It was maybe he was an android. You can call him that, but I didn't like him.
He's no
Any
Data.
hazardous warnings, the mixing instructions, and information about first aid. It's important not to buy supplies at local stores because they may not have the labels required by law. This law...
Well, and we can't gouge you. As a franchisee, you have to buy directly from us.
It's got to have the M on
And
it.
it has to say McD on it. Like, if it's Formula 40D, we might talk, but it ain't.
protects you. It's your right to know about all hazardous chemicals used in your restaurant. So feel free to ask your manager for more information about
Feel
any
free.
cleaning supplies.
Ask them for a
In
pamphlet.
fact, your manager has a written hazardous communication standard program. You should know where this written program is located.
Fucking pump the brakes, bitch. Like, MSDS exists. Don't be like, well, ours is going to be called. Don't do that.
It contains material safety data sheets called MSDS.
So just call
You
it
have
that.
a right to see these safety information sheets at any time. Just ask your manager. This is a typical MSDS. This one is for McD. All
MSDS. I've been around hazardous chemicals most of my working career. Never consulted an MSDS sheet once. Not a single time.
purpose concentrate. It lists the manufacturer's name, address, and phone number, so you can call for more information if needed.
Hey, I just drank a gallon of this
The
shit.
product ingredients,
Help!
the physical and chemical characteristics, fire and explosion hazard warnings, reactivity data, which means information about what happens if the solution is mixed with other chemicals, health hazard data, precautions for safe handling and use,
Data. Make it
and
so.
special protection information. Well, that's an overview of what you need to know and what you have a right to know.
It's your right.
If you see any hazardous
You have the right to material safety, remain silent, a lawyer, others.
conditions or have any questions about safety, talk
Wonder if anybody has ever asked a detective for their MSDS.
to your restaurant manager.
It's your
Or
right.
bring your ideas to the restaurant safety committee. Chris and Tanya are safety experts because they follow McDonald's procedures and they care about their own safety and the safety of everyone.
That's all it takes to be an expert is to like just blindly follow McDonald's protocol.
Yeah, it seems to be like any kind of job that you have, as long as you like know partially what you're doing, you're considered a super user. Or like a system matter expert or whatever.
I mean, not. This is hitting home because like every job I've ever had has basically played out the same way, and it's happening again right now to me. So I don't understand what the fucking major malfunction is. Like, I'm not like a super competent or smart or capable or charismatic person, right? I do essentially as much as I can, which isn't much because, again, I'm not any of those things. But I've always sort of floated to the top of the toilet tank. Because as long as you're just doing the things, like, that's excelling today. And by today, I mean my entire life. Like, I've never been in love with any of the jobs I've done. I've done them because when I'm on the clock, you own me for X amount of dollars an hour. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm doing what I feel like is the essentials, and at the end of the probationary period, however long it is, they go, fucking awesome work. I go, seriously? Seriously? I'm not an overachiever. But, you know, that's what it is. That's the state of life, apparently. So just do the bare minimum, shut the fuck up, and you'll get a raise.
Everyone else.
Julia says, "Hey boss, sorry I'm late."
That's what it
Fucking
takes to avoid
time.
slips
40 minutes late, P.S. It's like 1/8 your shift.
and falls, burns, injuries from lifting, fires, and problems with chemicals.
Chris and
It
Tanya,
takes
yeah.
you. Because safety
Tammy got fired for obvious reasons that we won't get into.
is your job. And when you do it right, safety is no accident.
It's also not something you have to like intentionally worry about too, because how many people fall in slow motion with food glued to their tray? Oh God!
In your
I hope,
restaurant, there is
I
a
hope we can join a
Restaurant
committee.
Joint Health and Safety Committee. The committee ensures that everyone in the workplace shares the responsibility for health and safety. The committee is comprised of members from both management and crew to ensure a cooperative effort. These are the...
Look.
I mean, it's not great, Jameson. Like, if you roll into, what do we got here? 22 minutes of training at 11 minutes, and actual real time is 42 minutes? I mean, you're in some sort of paradox, man. I don't know how McDonald's is going to deal with you.
These are the functions of the committee. Identify situations that may be a source of danger or...
So, Ryan, you're saying that 15 local Pizza Huts, Subway has that same issue? Like, in reality? Like, Subway just hands out franchises to any asshole who wants one and says, yeah, pick your territory. So you could literally set up a Subway next to a Subway, and the home company doesn't give a fuck. As long as you're not Jared Fogle, they say, do whatever the fuck you want. We got your money. Just don't download CP
Yeah.
into your sandwiches. That's all we ask.
I just saw an article that here in Arizona, there's like this couple who just are franchising like 15 Porta subs into the valley.
Health and safety.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There is
15 more, I
definitely
should say.
a rich ecosystem for sub shops, right? Subway, I feel like, is the detritus that sort of falls off of the like if whales, if they shed their skin, the shit that goes down the bottom, not good. Whatever. I think there's room for the good ones. Like, I think Jersey Mike's is probably close to the top. Jimmy John's is in the middle. I know that's probably a controversial statement, but their sandwiches are trash when you put them next to a Jersey Mike's. But I do love a Porta Subs. I do love we had a Mr. Good Sense here. I don't know if that's a national chain or not. Any sub shop that has that super thin slices of lettuce, kind of like the Sonic Ice, the tiny cubes, nailing it. Quiznos, yeah, good luck finding that. Firehouse is top tier.
Yeah.
I did forget about Firehouse, Ryan. So you got that. Prince Akeem.
I can learn how to mop. I'm confident I can learn how to flip a burger.
Recommend to the management team and employees the establishment...
I don't know why. When he says Prince Akeem, it makes me think of Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger and or the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Is that a reference you're trying to pull, Jameson, or am I just fried?
Maintenance and monitoring of programs and procedures having to do with health or safety. Obtain
Just a love, a type, or camel, you know what I mean?
information from the management team to identify potential or existing hazards of materials, equipment, and processes.
Coming
Obtain
to
information from the
America.
management team about health and safety work practices and standards in similar industries about which they may have knowledge. And to ensure compliance with the Occupational Health and Safety Act.
Smoothia. That reference is bouncing off this skull. So, sorry about that. But here's the thing I want to now talk about, because like they're talking about how they have to update and keep everybody, like how much progress is being made with like cleaning chemicals or like fire, right? They say, hey, any new ideas on how to not catch on fire? Okay, Eddie Murphy, there you go. Yeah, sorry, Ryan got it. I was thinking he was referencing Neil Diamond, because I like Neil Diamond more than I like Coming to America. Okay, so this might have just unlocked a core memory. Jameson and Ryan, you saw that movie. You know when Eddie Murphy is back, I think he comes from Africa to New York, right? I want to say, and this is the only thing I remember about it, because I remember being extremely awkward because I was watching the movie with my parents, and like he's in that like big pond, like a big bathtub or whatever, and this like hot African chick comes up out of the water, and that's the thing. I don't want to like get too specific on the details because they're mostly lost to me, but like he admonishes her to like wash his joint and balls. Am I remembering that correctly? He's like, wash my royal penis, right? Did that happen, or am I crazy? I feel like that happened.
Did that happen? In the movie,
On a
John,
monthly basis, a member
I knew
of the
it! I
committee
fucking
will
knew
review the
it!
restaurant safety report.
James
Thank you.
Amos
This
has a
report is
knockoff McDonald's franchise called McDowell's.
Roddy McDowell's?
posted in the
I'm Roddy
restaurant with an
McDowell
action
from
plan completed
McDowell's.
by management to
That'd be
correct
fucking
any known
hilarious.
problems. All members of the committee meet once every 3 months for a quarterly meeting where they will discuss health and safety concerns.
So often I get a bonus for performing the bare minimum. Again, guys, it's easy. Just, I don't know how to describe it. Just do the minimum. Like people will go, whoa, because there are so many people doing less than that. It'll knock people's socks off.
Review the previous 3 months' restaurant.
Close. He's just looking out into space. She pops up out of the water and
Thank you.
says, "Your royal penis is clean."
Right. Yeah. I feel like, okay. So yeah, I just conflated it. But yeah, I remember seeing Eddie Murphy sitting there and she pops up and I go, whoa. Because even back then I was able to pop like, you know, an adolescent boner. I was like, this is, but then like the whole thing would like, and I turn around and they're my parents and I go, ugh.
Restaurant safety reports and discuss their findings.
Kind of kicks the old dick in the dirt, if you will.
The committee also reviews any accidents that have occurred and discusses and works towards solutions, so the same incidents will not reoccur
And you
in
have
the
to keep
future.
your visor on too, obviously.
If you have any concerns regarding health and safety in the workplace, report them to a member of the safety committee or a member of the management team. You can find a safety committee member list posted in the restaurant.
Really?
Remember, McDonald's considers preventing accidents and providing a
Yeah, this is another, and let me get myself out of the way really quick. This is another indication that this is like
Old.
not only old, but like very specific, because the color temperature of this photo combined with the blown out onboard flash of this terrible camera makes me feel like this is 1992, 1993. Any earlier, the film would have like a warmer temperature to it, and any later, you'd have something digital or like with an onboard light sensor or whatever. This feels like it was taken with like a 35 millimeter Kodak point and shoot.
providing a safe work environment to be of vital importance for the well-being of our employees, customers, and guests, as well as for the production efficiency of our operations. Your health and safety are essential to this restaurant.
I mean, not for nothing, Ryan. You ain't shitting, because like you look at the menu and you go, well, there's not very many things up there. And then you look at the register and it's just an ocean of different colored buttons. Yo, it was fucking crazy. But then again, when I learned the register, I was like, oh, it's actually very easy because you only use like 6 of the buttons. And I go, why the fuck are there so many buttons on this thing? They go,
And no task is so important that it can be done in an unsafe manner. The most important part of safety is you.
look at that guy.
Employee.
That's him. He's the safest dude in McDonald's. And you can tell because his stripes way thinner than everybody else.
Since the opening of our very first drive-thru 20 years ago, we've given our customers something.
Okay, we got a time frame. Look up when the first drive-thru opened in McDonald's and add 20 years and we'll be probably 92, 93. I fucking feel it in my bones. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Something very important: convenience. Our specialty
This is
is
like
providing
candy
the best in
stripers.
hot and fresh food, quickly and accurately, with a minimum of half.
1975.
Damn it! It's 2 years off. All right, there's the thing.
Same year as Burger King.
Right, I'm not gonna, maybe, okay, 92, 93, 95, same film stock, same color temperature. I'm gonna call that a win.
Our objective today is no
If
different
you
than it was
don't,
20 years
fuck
ago.
you. Just
Total
kidding.
customer
But
satisfaction.
seriously, fuck you.
The purpose of this program is to demonstrate the most current procedures that will best meet customer satisfaction needs.
$1995.
Before we begin, let's take a look at what customers told us.
How do you think this looks way too old for 95? I'm telling you, my prediction was fucking correct, Ryan. I gave you all the reasons. Don't say that I'm wrong. I just spelled it out. I gave you the math problem and the answer.
Yeah, this is almost 20 years ago.
It's almost as old as a South Park movie.
What their top concerns are in using the drive-thru.
It's over 20 years.
I'm on the road a lot, and I don't really have time for lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Joe.
Almost
The
30
only
years,
thing is
sorry.
I hate waiting in line. I go where I can get what I want fast.
This last time I went through the drive-thru.
Make sure you return that dunce cap
Yeah.
after you've sprayed it off with the Barbasol.
I placed a very simple order to go. When I got back,
So I come in every day at 5:45 a.m. and order a senior coffee for 14 cents and spend the next 16 hours reading the newspaper, farting and burping. And, yeah. Father, son, he goes in McDonald's.
they had given me a fish sandwich instead of the food I'd ordered. Now, I don't particularly care for fish. And to make things even worse, the Happy Meal didn't have the toy in it. You want to go and explain that to my 5-year-old grandson?
Unless the building's on fire and you have to evacuate and there's no chance of getting that toy because it is now a molten blob of plastic, I've been in that situation. Even if you get the toy you don't want, here's the thing. No toy you don't want, father, grandson. You walk up to the register counter area and you go, I want the other one, or I didn't get a toy. It's not like something you have to write hand jobs about and tell them all about your mysterious McDonald's adventure with the grandson who didn't get his toy, right?
I
Jesus.
come here every morning on my way to the office. What I really like is that they know my name and that they always have my order ready.
Bullshit. I went to the same fucking Carl's Jr. my entire tenure at my last job. Nobody ever even tried to learn my name.
Well, and how, like,
To meet these customer
how would they
demands
have his
requires that
order
you work
ready
as
for
part
him
of a
already?
team. A team that can give our customers the experience they expect and that they can only get at McDonald's. This video will show you how to provide that extra special drive.
I do have these books I read. It's called McDonald's Jobs. Hand Jobs.
McCann jobs.
Now let's take a detailed look at each position.
Oh, good.
That pulls another memory. There's maybe he's innocent, maybe he's not. He spent some time in the can, but there's a dude named McCann who, like, that's the thing. That he got thrown in jail for lying to the police. Because his story, we'll talk about it later in the true crime thing, but like, he told someone to look in a cemetery for this missing girl, and that's exactly what they found her. And they go, well, what the fuck, dude? How'd you know that? He's like, God damn it. I can't remember his first name, but McCann was his last name. And the police chief is like, yeah, I don't feel bad that I sent him to jail. He fucking lied to us. He knows more than he's saying. And fuck that dude.
Hi, what can I get for you today?
Could I have a cheeseburger with a Sprite and a quarter pounder with cheese value meal with a Coke?
Would you like to super
Whole 5 letters in it.
size your extra value meal?
More the same.
Okay,
Hey, you're
sure.
right.
Great. So that's 1 cheeseburger with a Sprite and 1 supersized quarter pounder with cheese extra value meal with a Coke. Would you like ketchup with your fries?
Great, thanks a lot.
That's $5.60.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead. Holy shit. What a weird time you and I could have, Jameson.
Please pull up to the next window and James will take your payment.
Thank you.
Oh, also, here's the thing, too. If you get a little punchy because it's late at night and you get a Burger King or a McDonald's or a whatever toy that makes noise, you can hold it up to the microphone and fuck with people. I pretended I was a robot once for an entire order because we had a little toy. I don't remember what it was, but it would make a bunch of robot sounds when you push the button. So every time they would stop talking, I would push the button and it would go like a, you know, when you go computer on Star Trek, there's always computer noises when in real life there isn't any. Mm-hmm. I just made them think they were ordering through a machine. They didn't give a fuck. It was super late. They were probably high. Got me to giggle.
We found that our customers can be very demanding, but what they
And
want is really quite
stupid.
simple. While greeting the customer, don't pre-sell or interrupt. Listen to their order, and when they're finished, repeat the order back to the customer. This
And
gives you
then-
the chance to clarify any questions about the order and to suggestive sell.
Yeah.
You don't pre-sell, you upsell. Right, guys? I mean, don't sell a sold car. You already got a fat ass in the drive-thru wanting some disgusting food. See how that goes. Gene Belcher.
The Gene Belcher megaphone.
God, I wish, man. Like, that's the thing. I had one of those talkbacks or yakbacks.
Yakbacks, yes.
If one of those had survived my childhood into my adult career, I would have brought that to Burger King and gotten fired first day.
This is also the best way to ensure that we give the customer not only the food they ordered, but any condiments requested.
The first thing I do is...
So you got the food, you got the condoms. Whipped cream, you're chasing a cat around.
greet
You're
the
naked.
customer.
You're naked.
Then I stake him onto the sale and receive the payment.
Dave was ahead of the times. Drive through also with questionably human sounding AI bot now.
Right.
Yeah.
But this was cutting edge. Like, people weren't afraid of AI. So when they were ordering from me and getting their Whoppers and whatever, they go, "Ooh, this is like a Terminator scenario."
I think we'll see
And
Lee
give the
Greer in
customer
this
their
one.
change along-
Double cheeseburger, no pickles.
Along with the printed
Lee
receipt.
Greer.
Don't let those
The
fries be
receipt
cold.
helps make sure the order is accurate. When I'm finished, I direct...
This dude turned in all his McDonald's points for this outfit. Like, he's got the fucking baby blue cap with the M. Like, the Charlotte Hornets windbreaker that has been repurposed as McDonald's. Like, when has ever McDonald's been like, yeah, blue and purple, that's us?
Do it.
You know, the big blue arches, the cyan arches, if you will.
I direct him to the presenter's window. 564 out of 10. Your change is 436. Here's 36. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Just drive up to the next window, and Mary will give you your order.
Thanks for stopping by.
I love you.
Says no McDonald's.
As soon
Drive-through
as the customer's
person.
order is taken, I go into action beginning at the transfer bin.
We only had one, well, we had 2 drive-through windows at the Burger King I worked at, only 1 in service. Because, like, having someone take the money and someone giving the food felt like wasteful, I guess. I had to give them the money and take their, no, I gave them their food, I took their money.
Yeah.
Backwards, it would be like Bizarro World.
Thanks for
I
the
assemble
food.
all of the products, except soft drinks and coffee. I check
Hill
the holding
Valley.
time on all the products I serve. And if anything is wrong, I let someone know about the problem. I won't serve it.
While the runner is assembling the
I
order,
won't serve
I get
it.
all the drinks
That's a
ready.
promise.
I use a drink tray if there are 2 or more drinks.
When everything is ready, I leave the bag open for the presenter to double check.
And to get cold.
Hold on, real quick. Let me just do this. Here we go. Another quick story. It doesn't matter how prepared you are, right? Because people are fucking stupid. So this fat bitch comes through the drive-thru, orders 4 value meals, all extra large, all with Sprite. No big deal, right? Easy. Order's happening. I'm filling roughly a gallon worth of Sprite over 4 giant cups. And this fat bitch, this entitled fat bitch, I go, okay, here are your drinks. Now, it's very heavy. You need to grab the top that I'm going to hand to you and then place a hand under the bottom because this is cardboard and it cannot withstand a gallon of Sprite. She goes, boop. I go, okay. You got it. You're going to disregard my advice to you, and you are going to daintily pick it up like a feather from a cap that you're going to tickle your nose with. Boop. She goes. So, and my whole hand is on the top. My hand is on the bottom. You got it? Yeah. Are you sure? Because this is heavy. Like, you're going to... I got it. Okay. As soon as my hands leave the thing, the drink holder, the bottom disintegrates. All 4 large, extra large Sprites fall to the ground, hit the deck, and a wave of Sprite washes away the Geo Metro behind her. And then she looks out her car window down at the cups, looks at the destroyed drink holder that I told her to put her fucking hand under, and goes, drops it. Well, now I need 4 more Sprites. Fuck you, you fucking bitch. Get out of my fucking drive-thru. I hate you, and I hope that when you go home, you knock these Sprites over and everyone in your house drowns. God damn it. Hold both hands, I told her.
Did you offer her a liter of cola on the house?
I said, hey, since you dropped fucking a gallon of Sprite, here's a liter of cola. Splashed in her goddamn face.
Order number 41
Do we serve a liter of cola? Liter of cola? Don't have that.
is ready.
This is where I take over the transaction. I compare the order on
P.S. I was the runner, the drink getter, and the presenter all in one. Because I had to be.
the 2-1 ready board with the video monitor. Then I greet the customer when they drive up.
Hey,
and I
bitch,
hand
put
them
your hand on the
order
fucking
and
bottom of
the
the
drinks.
Great. Thanks a lot.
And here are the drinks. Thanks for coming by. Come back again.
I'm so cold.
I always make sure to invite the customer back again.
I always watch
As
them
they
drive
leave, I
out and
press the
look at
serve
their
button to
license
take
plate
the order
number.
off the monitor. And now I am ready for my next customer.
You've just seen a typical transaction handled at the drive-thru.
Jack of all arches.
What happens when a transaction isn't typical? The
I
most
was more of a jack of all buns, because they all had buns, but only the one place had arches. I never worked at McDonald's. I was a jack of all buns.
important thing to remember is that
There's
at
the
McDonald's,
smoker,
we do
the
whatever it
joker,
takes
and the
to
midnight
satisfy the
toker.
customer. And that means that drive-thru team members should be flexible
I was covering all positions.
enough to give customers what they want.
And here are your drinks. Thanks for stopping at McDonald's and come back again soon.
Is it too late to get a side salad with some French dressing with my order?
Yes.
No problem.
Great, thanks a lot.
See you, bitch. She drives away. Great, thank you.
Orders, coupons, special requests, handling out of the ordinary situation.
Those delectable McDonald's gift certificates that McDonald's thought that every kid would want at Christmas and Halloween.
Mm-hmm. It's like sticking out of their Christmas tree.
That's a 50-cent gift certificate. They came in quantities of 50 cents.
Situations is part of your job, and it can be fun and challenging. If you encounter a situation you feel you can't handle,
Fun
your
and
manager is there to
challenging
help.
necessarily go
The manager is
together.
part of the drive-thru
Like,
team too,
for
and is
work.
equally as
Maybe you haven't played Connect 4 competitively?
eager as you to provide 100% customer satisfaction. The procedures and crew positions you've seen in this videotape are the same for every McDonald's drive-thru. Order taker, cashier, runner, drink drawer, presenter.
That was all fucking me, bitch. That's why I rise to the top in every situation.
You do all the things.
I was 5 people. Today I'm only 3, but I used to be 5 when I was younger.
The number of people working at your drive-thru may vary depending on the layout of your restaurant, the equipment, or the amount of drive-thru traffic. Your crew trainer can tell you how the positions you saw in this video are used at your restaurant. We've touched on some very important procedures in the drive-thru, and you need to remember all of them.
So really quick, here's another quick story about working at Burger King. It was the only time I was offered drugs twice. I took one of them up on their offer. The first one, a guy slipped me a pill because he was fucking fried out of his mind on something. And I tried to slip him a couple extra onion rings to keep him happy. And my manager found out and was a real bitch about it. For 2 onion rings for this dude, because we had a burger that had onion rings on it at one point. It recently stopped production, and he said, can you give me a couple onion rings to put on that burger? I go, don't tell anyone, but yeah. As my manager walked by when I put the trash, she goes, what are these? Threw them in the garbage.
What are those?
Which then, you can't fucking steal onion rings from a dude who's fried and got the munchies, so they had a little interaction. And so I stood on the side of the dude, because I've been in that position. Manager put the kibosh on it, so as I'm out there cleaning up the dining room, doing all that shit, dude's like, here. And he holds out his fist, and I try to fist bump him because I don't know drugs passing.
I don't know drugs.
He goes, no, here. So I hold up my hand, and he drops a little pill in my hand. I go, thanks, I'll do this later. And I threw it away, because, like, what? Second time I was offered drugs, it was my manager, Mary Ann. I fucking loved her. I was in a car accident, and my back was totally fucked because a dude tried to drive through my car instead of waiting until I passed through the green light that I had. Mm-hmm. So I was like totally fucked and walking around like the mummy because my back was fucked. And she goes, hey, I've got some muscle relaxers if it'll help you. And I go, oh my God, that would, because I'd been putting up with it for weeks at this point. I go, yeah, please, dear God. I got high. And my manager spent the rest of that night regretting her decision to give me one of her muscle relaxers because she kept going, every time I would do something goofy, which I was doing a lot of, because those were my pills.
I could totally see that.
So she was like regretting that, but I was very happy about it.
You may be less people, but you're still made of $63.
I got all those $63.
Jameson says, you're like Damon Wayans from Hey Man. When I was your age, I was an order taker, a runner, a presenter.
I was everything, man. I was everything.
Our customers have told us what's most important to them. Fast service, accurate service, and friendly service. Whatever position you work, remember.
I mean, I definitely had those first two covered because, again, all you have to do is just give a little bit of a fuck. I have gone through the drive-thru and at the front counter where I had my order fucked up and been too embarrassed or shy or whatever to be like, I asked for no onions. So I broke my fucking back to make sure that every order I handed out was exactly as I took it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's going above and beyond. It's like the bare minimum. Just making sure that what they're going to shove in their fat faces is what their fat faces asked for.
Remember,
and paid
you're
for.
part of a very important team. The McDonald's drive-thru team.
It's the best team in the fucking world. Don't report me to the feds, guys. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this.
This 30-year-old training
I mean,
video.
there's still some left, but I feel like we're moving on. We all know how fucking McDonald's works. So, since we got a little time, I'm going to show you a little Chuck E. Cheese material. And boy, oh boy, is it stupid right off the gate. So let's just get this going. So there we go. Learn how to be a McDonald's employee. Stay away from fire. Don't drink the chemicals. Mm-hmm. And,
wear windbreakers.
Right, guys? Don't stick your head in the fryer. If Ryan Maxwell's hat or Ryan Maxwell's sister's hat falls in, wait till it's fully cooked. Pull it up in the basket. Don't try to reach in for it.
Dip it in some ranch. See what it tastes like.
Whatever. This is a terrible corollary, but it's like this. There's a horrifying fate channels on YouTube where this guy went to go see the Yosemite hot springs, right? All those boiling waters that come up from volcanic vents, right? His dog broke off the leash and jumped into one of those boiling pits. Dude took off after his dog. His friend was like, don't, you'll die. I got this, he says, in his head, probably. He jumped into the boiling water, came out, pulled his dog out, and they both died because they were immediately cooked. His last words were, that was a bad idea. Because you can't jump into water that's boiling and survive. People have cups of boiling water thrown on them and die.
That's crazy.
Fucking crazy. Charles Entertainment Cheese up next. Just so you know, I'm going to have a lot of stories about working at a child's amusement park as well, because I worked at Jungle Jim's Playland, which either stole or also had the same idea of like keeping track of your kids. We'll get to it. Isn't it depressing? Divorced dad gets to see his son every other week, takes him to Chuck E. Cheese. It's depressing. They're stamping him.
The vignette around it makes it even more depressing looking.
What's going on in this? Oh, it's a love story. Oh, this Puerto Rican lady and her kids are going to fall in love with this African American man and his kid. Oh, that's a Chuck E. Cheese love story, guys. Doesn't it, Ryan? Like, this is going to be like the last time this family was seen. Like, oh, these two families, like, they found love, but for whatever reason, someone broke into their house and murdered them and opened all their Christmas presents. This is crazy. Yeah, I'm going to celebrate recovering from a car accident by going to Chuck E. Cheese. But this feels like the same. There are music channels out there who release the same public domain music, with spooky Halloween themed stuff. This is what this feels like.
Here's the story of a single mom lady. Massacres.
She was accepted into the college of her dreams, and now she's giving away prizes for tickets. Is secretly thinking of abducting this child and killing her in the back of a van.
No story for the mouth.
That's the kind of hand pat that you give someone you fucking hate, but they want a hug from you.
Yeah.
It's a Chuck E. Cheese horror video. This is one of those. You know, in the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses and pizzas.
Dun dun. If we care to read it. What?
Right, this is if Hallmark and Chuck E. Cheese joined forces to make a training video. What's your story, right, guys? Pizza?
Oh my God.
What is going on? Are you kidding me? They're literally... Okay. Yep, everyone has a story again. Okay.
The X-Files.
Is this like when Marge says, a part of us all, a part of us all, a part of us all? Sorry to repeat myself, but it helps you remember. Santa's a part of us all. Part of us all. Hey, wait. There's a lemon behind that rock.
It's going to do it again.
Don't have the depressed guy. There we go. Thank God. Chuck E. Cheese University. You can get a double major if you go to Chuck E. Cheese University and Bovine University. Ryan Maxwell is a grade A moron. Just kidding, Ryan.
Character.
Chuck E. Cheese is the point of difference between Chuck E. and other restaurants.
What?
The memory of meeting Chuck E. survives long
needs
after a child
prices.
has left the restaurant.
Dental plan.
Yeah, you know what I'm
This
talking
is
about.
why we place an emphasis on every guest sees Chuck E. Cheese.
The Chuck E. room
Props
and
for
costume
typing
care.
all that out. Hopefully you did copy
Control-C,
paste.
Control-V exists. I'm not going to say that definitely happened, but Ryan.
Every store has a designated area
Control
for our costume
Chuck, Control
character called
Cheese.
the Chuck E. room.
What the fuck?
It's important that you keep this area clean at all times. Keep the costume
God, that looks like a trophy room for a person who murders mascots.
off the
Yes.
floor, hang the costume up, and vacuum inside the room.
Inside the
At
costume,
some stores,
too.
the Chuck E. room and birthday area.
Oh, whoa, it's like regular, like, windbreaker Chucky and, like, adventure cargo pants Chucky.
Safari
What
Chucky.
the same room.
Oh, God.
Either case, keep the room neat and cleaned and organized. A special costume care kit may be purchased for your store to help you in keeping the costume in great shape.
One of
Use
those
it
shoe
every
organizers.
Make sure you brush your hands every day.
Brush the fur to keep it plush and spray the costume and shoes with Fresh Again deodorizer. Clean the face of Chucky and the shoes with cleaner.
Make Chucky
Remove
fresh
lint
again.
from fabric with the lint roller.
You know, if the original TMNT movie had this sort of protocol, we'd still have those suits. This is bullshit.
All
doing
work
this
and
every
no
time,
stream make Ryan go
Something.
something.
Go crazy. Don't mind if I do.
With any broken parts. It's important to report any problems with the costume to the manager so that repairs or replacements can be ordered.
Hey, boss, the mask told me to kill another child. Should I do it? I don't think so, Jeremy.
Some parts of the costume may be sent in for refurbishing, such as the fat suit, shoes, and
Such as seals. Right, guys?
the head. It's important that Chucky always looks his very best. Getting started. The first thing you'll need before getting suited up
Sweatband,
is a
obviously.
sweatband or bandana and an additional plain white cotton t-shirt. The shirt is to be worn while you're in the costume. While
Yeah,
you're
so you don't pit out our suit, you fucking disgusting teenagers.
So wear
you can
7
leave the
layers
cotton
instead
t-shirt
and
in the
then
Chucky
die of
room
heat
and wear your
exhaustion.
correct uniform.
Give me that. We gotta stop that.
You should also bring
Bleh.
deodorant, cologne, or body spray.
Oh!
The costume can get warm, and bringing all the extra items can help you perform better in and out of the costume.
Don't get dehydrated.
Don't forget to drink plenty of water or juices, like fruit punch and pink lemonade. Performing in a warm costume can and will dehydrate you.
Like fruit punch, pink lemonade.
But then if you have to pee, you can't.
It's a bizarre.
In addition to drinking plenty of fluids, you also need to put safety as your number one.
Boys.
I love playing with young. What is it? Fuck. Dirty boys. BOIS. And I thought a little of the water sports. But again, fantasy takes over reality. My best friend's mom, and this is not an excuse, my best friend's mom is dying of cancer.
Number one priority. The Chucky
Kenneth
head has
Brakeman's
very
best
limited
friend.
visibility, so please be extra careful around children. When it's possible, have someone escort Chucky. This helps guests as well as Chucky from getting hurt.
Yeah, do you think when like the guy in the costume comes home, he looks in the mirror and like washes his face, and as he looks up like it's Chucky, and he's
If an escort is not possible,
Ryan says,
you as Chucky should be extra
When I
cautious.
worked at Red Robin, I had to wear a mascot costume quite often. We had to wear an ice pack vest to make it tolerable. Yeah.
That's the thing about those costumes, man. It's like they're killers. Like Disney characters can only stay in them for like 15 minutes.
Giving hugs and high fives. Playing games like peekaboo. Play a game of skee ball or air hockey with other guests.
Don't throw the ball at the kids.
We've winnowed the list a little bit. I mean, you can't hug them anymore.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Greet kids at Kid Check.
Give them the slow pat on the shoulder if you want, but no full like bear hug shit.
Like that.
Things we should not do while in the costume include
flip the bird,
pick up, chase, tickle, or bump into kids. Mess
I'm
up.
gonna get your tickle spot. Imagine an interrogation like Julio Soto, where like the detectives are like, "Hey Chucky, people are telling us you find kids tickle spots."
But guess hair.
We just saw
Approach a
that
frightened
happen.
child.
Oh, no shit.
Especially that one. There are two
Oh,
things you
especially that
should
one.
never do. While in the costume, don't talk. Your voice is different than Chucky's and most kids can tell. Also, don't sign autographs or write while in the costume. We want to create an illusion that Chucky is real.
Right, which is why Disney makes you practice
your signature,
the autograph of the character you're going to portray.
Yep.
Like, and not for nothing, how hard would it be to facsimilize Chuck E. Cheese in an easily reproducible manner, even for a teenager?
Yeah.
Not hard at all?
Like
Ryan?
One of the things that I remember going to Disney was my little autograph book that I had when I was little.
How hard would it be to like to write it up on the wall? It can be block letters. It doesn't need to be special.
Yeah. Even Pluto had a signature.
Here's the thing, Ryan. What if one kid gets one that's in cursive and the other kid's in block letters, and they go, "Which is the real Chucky?"
Right.
Never let a guest see you without the full costume. This means leaving the Chucky room without his head, shirt, or hands. Remember, kids think that Chucky is real.
No, they don't. If you leave the back room stripped to the waist, people will see through the facade.
Since a Chucky costume character cannot talk, he has to communicate through actions. The following are some frequent situations that may occur, and we provided you with some ways you should respond to each. Let's take a look.
Basically all waving.
It's my birthday.
So you basically, if you're a mascot, you can do this. The end. You're trained.
Act as if this is the most exciting thing you've ever heard. You can throw your arms in the air, clap your hands, etc. You're my best friend. Give the child a big thumbs up or a huge hug if appropriate.
Or the shaka, you know what I mean?
How many times are you gonna?
Like you. Bow your head and put your hands over your eyes like you're crying. Most kids will love you after that. How old are you? Scratch your head. Put your hand on your chin like you're thinking. Then put up all your fingers so the child can count. Let them come up with an age.
How are you supposed to ask them how old they are if you are not?
They're asking him how old he is.
Why?
I don't think that would ever come up.
Never in a
but that's the question.
Years.
It's a question.
It's a question. Hey, Mickey, it's a question. Like, you go up to Chip and Dale and be like, how old are you? At this point, it would be like...
Someone wants you to hold their child or baby. Sit on the floor with your legs crossed and put the child in your lap.
Don't sit in the seat.
Remember, in the costume, your balance is impaired, so be extra careful. Children hitting or kicking Chucky. Think clearly, act quickly, and remain calm. Find a cast member walking by and stop them.
That's the thing. Just do what Disney does. Every mascot has a handler to make sure that shit doesn't happen.
Right.
And to make sure they don't die in the costume. Like, if it's so dangerous and all of these things are so important, have a fucking handler.
Point to the kids that are hurting you, and they'll take care of the situation.
That's the bad kid.
If you can't find a cast member, go to the Chucky room or to the back of the
kick
house.
them out the front door.
In this type of situation, do not take off the costume until you are sure there are no children around you.
Right, or just leave.
As an entertainer, it's important that you study and learn the personalities of each character. This will create the magic and excitement of your performance. The recipe for making a magical character is simple. We want to exceed our guest expectations. This means we want a very animated Chucky that is fun with our guests. We want to leave the guests with a feeling of awe, wonder, and excitement. Our goal is to make every kid feel special by ensuring all the kids meet and play with Chucky.
There are 4 magical opportunities to help make this recipe work.
Magical.
There are live shows every hour throughout the day.
Ugh.
Live shows are a combination of our character performing with our cast members. Boombox live shows are every hour in the game room, kiddie room, toddler zone, even at Kid Check. This type of show allows all children to sing, dance, meet, and greet the Big Cheese himself. It also allows other cast members, besides showroom hosts, to sing and dance. Through special occasions such as birthday parties, at Chuck E. Cheese's we throw a party every day. In fact, we do approximately
Ideally. Hopefully.
50 to 60 parties in 1 week. When Chucky walks around the store, all guests can meet and greet with him. Chucky can play games in the game room with guests, visit kids at Kid Check, or even go table to table greeting guests. Be sure to move in big motion while in the character. Normal movements may seem fine to you, but to the guest it looks slow and lifeless. So show the life of the character. You might feel a little funny exaggerating your movement, but be assured, no one knows you are in the costume, so let loose and have fun.
You can work.
Just a quick personal story. I did something like this once. So, if you're poor or your parents tell you you're poor, but they're actually cheap, you'll have that same sort of Grim Reaper hooded costume or a monk. You'll have a robe with a hood, right? So that was basically my go-to for every Halloween season. But my grandmother gave me this material that you could see through, but people couldn't see in. So I basically just did this. I wrapped it around my head so you couldn't see my face, and I put on my costume as is. No one knew who I was, and I did exactly this.
Yeah.
I walked around, it's not like it feels like this isn't something you need to tell people, but then again, this would be more a failure of management, because like if you put me in that costume, I'll act like I should act because I'm not an idiot. But if you have to tell someone to be like, hey, act like you're
a giant mouse,
a fucking, yeah, like you picked the wrong person. Like this doesn't feel like whatever. There was, again, so I worked at Jungle Jim's Playland, my very first job. And there was one of these type of dudes worked there who, like, I don't know what his dysfunction was, but he had been working at this Jungle Jim's Playland for so long that after I was hired, shortly after that, they gave him a Letterman jacket that said Jungle Jim's on it because he had been there for 10 years.
Wow.
And had not progressed beyond a ride operator, which is where I started. However, in 3 months, I had gotten 2 raises and been upgraded to supervisor. So it must be nice staying in the same position for 10 years, the bottom rung, to get that jacket. But why did I tell you that story? I don't know, because he was very animated with the kids, but never got anywhere. If we had a costume, he would have been in it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I, as the supervisor, would have seen him and go like, you get in the costume. Start getting hinky with the kids, we'll talk. But for most of his career, he was like the weird-looking dude that everyone loved. But as soon as he was off the clock, he went from like, oh, to like... Like, the day he got his fucking Jungle Jim's Letterman jacket, the big puffy thing, didn't wear it out, looked down the whole time, angry as fuck.
Weird.
You can wear a cold vest to help keep you cool while in the costume. Replacement packs can be used by storing them in the freezer and changed out between performances.
It's fun, right, Ryan? Just like, because you know, I knew as a kid, you don't know who I am. I mean, you might have an inclination because it was a church function and like how many people could it have possibly been? But it gives you a certain freedom. There's an anonymity that, you know, you're not going to do anything weird, but you live a little.
Now that you've been shown the magic to a great performance, practice and have fun. Together, we can make magic for our guests.
Together. You.
Instant cuts back to the depressing stuff.
Now it kind of feels like we're waiting in line at like Superman the Ride, and all the TVs are playing like, oh, here's the safety thing when you get in the thing, and then it cuts to like just the slideshow where you hear this music.
Yeah.
Every time it plays through, you get a little hyped, but a little less every time because you've been in the line for 4 fucking hours. Every guest receives a happy ending at Chuck E. Cheese.
Welcome to Chuck E. Cheese's and the greatest team on earth. Chuck E. Cheese knows that the most important decision that we'll ever make is who we hire. Why are we so picky? Because we are a team. We know that to ensure our main objective, that every guest leaves happy.
I don't think there's any way to interact with a camera in this type of situation and come off as normal. I have watched a country mile of this sort of footage where it's like 1 or 2 people being like, hey, here, blah, blah, blah. I've also been in videos for companies and for personal projects where like you have to stand in front of a camera and go like, hey, here's the thing. Like, it's pretty straightforward. It's information. There's not really a way to zhuzh it up. But if there's 2 people, there's an 80% chance that the person who isn't talking is going to go and just stare at the person who is talking.
That's what I do for our other show.
Until they're done. And then they go.
Because what else do you do?
Watch, look this up. If you're not in Arizona, you need to see the commercial. The commercial for Casino Arizona. Local celebrity Alice Cooper is in it, and it is the most awkward, fucking terrible piece of local advertisements maybe ever.
We should just find it and play it.
But it's just like this. We're like the dude who's being embarrassing in his leather studded jacket going like, chow chow brio, tomahawk steak.
And more.
And more. Like, fucking embarrassing. But like the two lackeys on either side who have no lines have to go like, and it's fucking whatever.
Ryan says, I remember meeting
gonna take people
Popeye
like
at
you.
Popeye's Chicken when I was like 5. I had a feeling he wasn't real. My older sister told me he told her he couldn't talk back to me because he had laryngitis.
Right, because how you gonna? I'll see if I can find it,
Team
Ryan.
effort. Our purpose. Your
It's so embarrassing. It's so fucking embarrassing.
Chateau Briand. And more.
Let me just, if I can find it really quick, I'll show you. So, because it's on Pluto TV. So if you have Pluto TV and live in Arizona, you can see this commercial. But let me just see. Casino.
And like,
Arizona, Alice Cooper commercial.
we see it so many times because it just runs on a loop on certain
Oh my God,
channels.
here it is. It's so fucking embarrassing. Oh my God. So, oh my God. Embarrassing is all the way I can describe this whole.
Welcome to Casino Arizona. This is Jimmy. He'll take great care of you. He's Choya's finest server.
So what's good here?
Oh, the cringe starts. Oh, God.
Atlantic salmon.
Elk tenderloin.
Ow,
Tomahawk steak.
Chateau Briand.
And more.
And more.
I'll take the
And more.
I'll take the tomahawk.
Medium rare.
tomahawk. Medium rare.
Very good choice,
Very
sir.
good choice there.
Guys don't have to do all this
Here it
for
is.
me. I mean, you know.
Tomahawk steak. Chateau Briand. And more.
Welcome to Casino Arizona. This is Jimmy. He'll take great care of you. He's Choya's finest server.
So what's good here?
Atlantic salmon. Elk tenderloin. Tomahawk steak. Chateau Briand.
And more.
And more.
Why is it repeat?
It's so fucking embarrassing. And the fact that Alice Cooper is still alive, I respect that. He hopefully is still on the air. KSLX, classic rock. He was maybe still is like a late night DJ. I like Alice Cooper. He's a local celebrity. We have Cooperstown here in Arizona. But like,
I'll take the tomahawk. Medium rare.
Very good choice, sir.
Guys don't have to do all this for me. I mean, you know.
Tomahawk steak. Chateau Briand.
And more. They offered to upgrade Alice to the presidential suite if you film this for them.
why is Alice like? That's the thing. Alice Cooper should not need to do Casino Arizona ads. He shouldn't have needed to do the Arizona Air Park Auto Mall ads of the early 2000s. But here we are living in this reality. Jesus Christ.
Your purpose is to serve the guests. And if you're not serving the guests, you're serving someone who is. So congratulations on making our awesome team.
Now that you're part of the team, you're about to find out how all the magic is made, along with learning how to make magic yourself. Are you ready to serve our guests? 'Cause here we go. And don't forget to pay close attention. You will be tested later to ensure that we've done our job training you.
Our guests' first impression starts before they even enter the building. As
the fucking oil stains in the parking lot.
a team, we want to ensure that the parking lot is clean, the windows and buildings
Wandering in drunk off the street, having, amyl nitrates infused brain. You go, where's that pizza?
shine, and we even rush to open the doors for our guests whenever we can. Now that is hospitality. Carpets, decor, and you need to shine for our first impression.
I mean, you guys saw the carpets and decor, right? The carpet was gray. The decor was nothing but black chairs.
Impression to be the one they'll remember. This also
Help! I'm stuck in a Chuck E. Cheese.
ensures that we set the pace for a great day for our guests. The first impression is everyone's responsibility, but there are 4 specific areas that you need to clearly understand that
And trash on the floor.
you as an all-star cast member are responsible for.
Kid check. Ryan wants you to look up Eagleman insurance commercials from Chicago.
Kid check is the
Woof.
first area that we're all
That's the thing, man. I love local shit. I love that commercial, even though it's fucking cringy because it's local.
There's another one that David was asleep on the couch one day and I saw the commercial and I like died. And I'm like, David, we have to somehow find this commercial. And it finally came up again on Pluto. And it's this couple going to a car dealership in Globe, Arizona.
Yeah.
And it is ridiculous, terrible.
So, that's the thing. When you're a local business, you go, okay, who do we know who will
embarrass
be
themselves
in front of a camera? Like, it's not even like getting a local actor or a theater actor. They just go, who do we know who would get on camera? Like, who in my circle of friends who is nearly illiterate and has never acted before? And that's what, like,
that's what they did.
Horn
yeah.
Ford in Globe, Arizona.
Horn Ford, Jeep, blah, 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 blah. Because the lady's like,
you've got everything.
Got it all.
Are all responsible for, an integral part of what we do. It is one of our main points of difference and the reason many of our guests visit Chuck E. Cheese's. Parents know that once they enter the building, they can relax and don't have to worry about the safety and security of their children.
I don't think I
we need to
would.
ensure that every guest that comes together.
So a couple of things that I'm
Leaves together.
semi-impressed by, I guess. So the dude's wearing a lav mic that I didn't even see until like I was looking super hard. Sound quality's not that great, so it must not be a good one. But this woman is also wearing a lav mic here, so she had speaking lines that were cut.
Yeah.
That dropped her out of SAG. You gotta have at least 5 spoken lines before you can enter the guild. Here she is, dick in the dirt.
Together.
Our guests not only expect a safe environment, they demand it. Beyond that, we take great
That dude's
pride
got
in providing
17
a
of the
fun
same
and
pins.
wholesome family experience. That's one reason
Don't
kids
slam on
need to
that
be
thing,
accompanied
kid.
by a parent
Oh.
or guardian over the age of 18. And don't forget the E in Chucky stands for entertainment. So we're all on stage from the moment.
Hey,
our
what
guests
if you're
first walk through
16
the
and you
door.
have a kid? You
Check
can't
should be
go there?
staffed with someone responsible and someone
Teen moms not allowed at Chuck E.
knows
Cheese.
how to capture fun and generate excitement.
Toilet baby, get out of here.
It's all about making magic for our guests. So let's take a look at how we make that happen.
Things you'll need at the Kid Check stand are stampers, invisible ink, stickers to be used for infants, a pen, some tokens,
A pen?
the birthday list for the day, birthday star and VIP stickers, walk-in birthday balloons, a marker, and cleaning supplies. Now that you have the tools you'll need, let's take a look at the procedures when our guests enter the building and the guest's last impression as they leave.
Hi, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese's. Are you here to celebrate anything or have fun? All right, well,
I just got over my DUI case was dropped because I called the Eagle, and I'm here to celebrate. Oh, cool, DUI.
let me go ahead and get
We
you
have a
stamped.
DUI balloon here.
I'm gonna make sure to stamp you all the same numbers, so that way whenever I check you when you leave.
We got an escaped DUI patient, customer. And they go, hey, congratulations on driving drunk and getting away with it.
Everyone who comes
They
together
just
leaves
ran their
together.
DUI.
And make sure to ask Cindy about how to win some free tokens today. Have a magical day. Thank you. Hi.
It's a
They're
magical
not
day.
Disney.
She's a Neil Breen character. It's a magical day.
It's a magical day. Where's her journal?
So here's the thing. At the place I worked at, they just had stickers. They had a big roll that had 2 stickers, 2 rows of stickers rather, and each row would have the same number. So you'd stick one of the stickers on the kid and you give either the sheet or you'd stick them all on the parent. So when they left Jungle Gyms, at that point it was Jeepers, Creepers, Playland, I would go, okay, stickers on all the kids, parents hand me this thing, and I go, great. Some parents didn't give a single fuck, so when they were leaving, I go, you got your stickers? And they go, no, we don't give a shit. Great. So I go, hey kids, is this your parent? And if most of them said yes, I let them go.
Hi, welcome to Chuck E. Cheese's. I see we have a birthday. Whose birthday is it today? Dawn's birthday. Dawn's birthday. Well, happy
Could
birthday, Dawn.
a horse kick head injury lifesaver dad celebrate his recovery at Chuck E. Cheese?
I don't know if they offer a package for that.
All right, there we go.
We had a ton of birthday packages at Jungles in Playland. Like, people would call me like, I want my kid to have a birthday there. And I go, oh, goody. I get to read you the sheet. Ugh.
It's scheduled party. All right. Well, Danielle will show you to your table. I
Oh,
hope
it's
you'll
not
have a magical
unscheduled?
time, and happy birthday.
We have many birthday guests that don't have a scheduled party with us. We want to definitely recognize them as well. Go through the same process. Birthday button, birthday star sticker, and these special birthday stars receive a white balloon with their name.
See ya!
I mean, not for anything. I never left the kid check area unattended. However, when I was up doing kid check, since the kid check area was also literally physically attached to the ticket redemption booth, I often did double duty. So one time when I was helping some kids get some Tootsie Rolls or their fucking tickets or whatever, I turn around, this kid's just walking out the door, and I go, what the fuck? Good news is he didn't get far because he made it to the sidewalk, stopped right before the parking lot, dropped his pants to his ankles and underwear, and just pissed into the parking lot.
I think I remember that story.
Just this little 6-7-year-old kid opened the front door, walked out before I grab him, stopped at the border, pissed into the parking lot. About a third of the way through his piss, the dad shows up at the front door and he goes, huh, Gary? I don't remember the kid's name. He's like, Gary? And then he sees the kid out there taking a piss and he goes, pfft. Just wait for him to stop taking a piss, pull up his pants, and walk back into the restaurant. If that were me, I would have been out the door grabbing my kid whose genitals were exposed for literally the world to see. This guy had other plans. He's like, you know what?
Let
Take
it
a
ride.
long, hard look at my kid's joint as he pisses into the parking lot. Gary!
Gary!
Gary! My kid, Gary! See you, suckers.
See ya, I'm stealing
abducting a
this
child.
baby.
Ready to leave so soon? Well, let me just check your stamps so I can make sure that everybody came together, leaves together. 37, 37, and there's
46?
yours. 37.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Now, I realize you're a mixed race couple. Is that something you chose or was it accidental? Don't ask that, right? Let's just make people embarrassed.
Well, I hope you enjoyed your time here and have a magical day. Enjoy the rest of your birthday.
It's a magical
It's our pleasure
day.
serving you. Thank you.
Stop talking to us. We're leaving.
Excellent job, Marie. Now that's hospitality. You really nailed it. It's amazing how far a great smile and attitude.
Just really quick, you know, this dude goes nowhere without his Ray-Bans or whatever. You saw the fucking.
Yeah. He
This
usually
dude-
has them on the back of his head when he's not in a video.
Yeah, this dude is one of those dudes who's always outside or driving to different places, like different Chuck E. Cheese, and he just showed up to shoot a video, and they didn't wait long enough for the indents in the side of his fat head to go away.
37 in a row.
Those guests really
In a
appreciate
row?
all that you do.
Let's review. Make sure to stamp all guests in. Identify first-time guests
Oh.
and assist them. Identify and make a big deal out of birthday stars. Direct the parents to the order counter and let them know about how things work here at Chuck E. Cheese's.
We didn't cover that.
As guests leave, make absolutely sure that every guest that comes together leaves together. Verify their numbers out loud so they know we are really checking them. Be sure to ask them if they had a great time. What if a guest didn't have a great time?
Then what?
Just remember
Slam.
slam. Smile,
Shut the front door. No.
listen intently, apologize, and then get a manager.
Remember, the kid check area is the first and last place we have an opportunity to make a lasting impression for our guests. So a big smile's a must. You're hired because of your personality, so don't be afraid to use it.
Look at all of his pins.
Strong disagree. You're hired because you're accepting what legally is a minimum wage. When I was hired at Jungle Gyms, it wasn't because I was an outstanding worker. I was 16. No one knew shit about dick about me. They hired me because they could pay me $6.10 an hour. After 3 raises at that company, I was still making under 7.
Kid check is the first of our 4
I was a
responsibilities
supervisor.
for every cast member. Let's take a look at another important area.
Oh, yeah, the salad bar. Everybody goes to Chuck E. Cheese for the salad bar. It's like the Sizzler salad bar. It's
At
just
Chuck E.
miles.
Cheese's, we're not just about pizza and sandwiches. We also offer
He borrowed dude's glasses.
a great salad bar. This makes a huge statement about our product quality. The salad bar is our standard of freshness. When a guest enters our restaurant, they may judge every item we sell.
Doesn't his hair look like he just woke up? Like, not for nothing, I love Robert Patrick, but his modern day incarnation looks like he's everywhere he goes, he's just rolled out of bed. Like, cut your hair, Robert, make it a little shorter. Don't do this, right? Don't let the T1000 look like a fucking bedhead nightmare.
Sell based upon the quality of our salad bar. An appealing and attractive salad bar will help us build sales. We offer a wide variety of fresh vegetables, fruits, meats, and prepared pasta salads. The salad bar is the only visible food product on display at all times. It must be maintained perfectly.
UPIC stands for utensils, placed in a 5 o'clock position facing the guest. Product, built to standard.
What is with
mound what grows in the ground?
These columns.
Any damaged or inappropriate items.
It's the 90s.
Ice, built to the top of the crocks. Counter, wipe down with a fresh towel, cleaning any spilled product. And spritz, you can spritz all fresh cut fruits and vegetables with the exception of mushrooms and melons. Spritzing these items will enhance the presentation of the salad bar. Each of these steps should be completed in order.
What's in that bottle? Like, is it just regular water? Is it Star Sand? Like, are they just, like, filling it up from the tap? What's happening?
Probably that.
That's fucking, like, that looks like the thing you would squirt down the counter with. If I were a Chuck E. Cheese customer, patron, participant, whatever, and I saw someone with a fucking, like, one of these industrial squirt bottles be like, just making sure the salad bar is 409 fresh.
Order and done on a continuous basis during your shift.
Whoa, they have a whole bar for beverages too, not just salads.
The beverage bar is another area that requires everyone's constant attention due to
Gold
the high
Peak
volume we
iced
do
tea.
and the kids that we serve. It is a reflection of our commitment to cleanliness.
Keep an eye on the kids who make suicides because they're wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
People should not mix High C, Coke, Diet Coke, Mountain Dew, Mr. Pibb. Is that Mellow Yellow? Holy shit, what year is it?
We need to ensure that the beverage bar is wiped down constantly and that there is little or
You can call a trucker on the CB radio here.
Jeez.
Call out Jack Burton. He'll tell you what's up.
no ice in the catch trays. To do this, just get a pitcher of hot water and pour it in the catch tray on each side to melt the ice.
Which you'll definitely have time for because Chuck E. Cheese are notoriously overstaffed and people will,
Yeah.
Dude, never in my life, again, at tons of shitty jobs I've had, never have I had the time to be like, oh no, too much ice in the fucking whatever. Let me go get some warm water.
I've never seen anybody actually do that.
Because you don't have fucking time. You never have time at these sort of jobs. Like, you can't be like, oh, whoa, extra ice? Let me just go pop over to the sink and get some warm water because, like, there's 90 kids screaming their fucking heads off.
Mm-hmm.
And don't forget hospitality. When mom approaches with kids, trays, cups,
Slap
and their
her.
hands
Push them
completely
away.
full, why not make a magical moment and help her out? We need to always make sure there's
Do a
enough
card
ice.
trick for her.
So check and fill the ice bins often. Chuck E. Cheese sure wants our guests to have everything they need, so don't forget to keep the condiments stocked throughout your shift.
This woman's dressed like a lifeguard in a public pool.
Don't forget your tube
This includes
socks.
straws, lids, sugars, lemons, and taking out the trash. Maybe most
Time
importantly,
to
we
take
want
out
a
the
safe environment.
trash.
Make sure you keep the floors clean and dry in both of these areas.
You can use the salad bottle on the floor, too.
Mm-hmm.
To do this, just magic clean. It's simple. Take a towel and cleaner.
A magic wand, an axe, and a broom.
It's
Before
a magical
long,
thing.
you'll have a whole bunch of brooms doing your work for you. No
Spray.
reaction.
Wipe.
Wipe, wipe. No reaction.
Then go over it again with a dry towel to ensure the floor is dry. We never use a mop when guests are in our building. A guest could fall and we could be held responsible.
So let's see. The top 5 important
Your
tasks of the
slips.
beverage bar. Floors are clean and dry. The counters are clean, well stocked. The garbage is emptied.
The ice is going. You can
can't
hear it.
believe the implication of this video because it feels like this is a multi-day shoot when maybe 4 hours could elapse for the whole entirety of this video.
Mm-hmm.
But our dude here has now relieved himself of his bedhead. He's now back to where he was at the beginning of the video. The pins are gone. The glasses are gone.
Yeah.
Like, they must have just shot this whole video, and the next day they go, oh, fuck, we forgot something. And so, like, 8:30 a.m. rolls around. He fucking hair's all fucked up, wearing his, like, sleeping glasses because he didn't put his contacts in. He's like, it's a magical experience.
Salad bar.
Cut.
And the ice bins are full. And great guest hospitality. Well, like we said, it's all part of a team effort to ensure our guests have a magical day.
Whatever. The thing is that most people in these, I was like, why is it so weird? It finally hit me. They all use hand motions like Seth MacFarlane characters or any cartoon character. Because like humans will, they'll move around naturally, but like cartoon characters, they're not going to animate a bunch of unnecessary movements. So for whatever reason, it seems natural for cartoon characters to talk and do this motion a lot. Right? You've seen that where like American Dad or Family Guy, they go, ah. I've never once in my fucking life while talking to another human being go, but you don't understand. I need. And that's what this fucking, like, come to Chucky, watch out for the fucking thing on the floor. Finally, the good stuff. Check for hidden cameras. Gross. I can't believe it. That's still a thing. Like, there's an SVU episode where, like, Dr. Venture, or his voice actor, like, hides a bunch of cameras in New York toilets, and his sister is Amy Sedaris, who, like, her name's Charlie in the episode. And you go, how often does that happen? Because that's not even the crux of the episode. Like, his pervert cameras catches a sexual assault toward a minor, and he's like, give me the fine and I'll go home. And you go, how often does that happen? I literally just watched a video, like, of an interrogation of a dude from this decade who had over 7,000 videos from toilet cameras he placed all over the city.
Yeah, and when David told me about that, I told him, like, we went to...
Who has the time?
I was going on a train somewhere. I don't know if I was going to Massachusetts or New York or wherever it was.
Town.
Some train station bathroom, like, the next day after we were there, they, like, apprehended somebody for having cameras in the women's bathroom.
Right, and it's one of those things, because, like, in this case anyway, like, somebody... Because all of the videos were being uploaded to a site that you could not, and you would not know about unless you were, like, specifically invited because you're a sex pervert. But someone was like, hey, I'm a sex pervert with a conscience, so, like...
This is weird.
I'll burn one down to this, but then I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Moving on with our areas, we come to the restrooms. This
Don't
also
let people
is
touch
an
your
important
areas.
area in our restaurant. Did you know that many guests judge a restaurant by how
Of course, Ryan's a subscriber to one of those sites. Only cans, am I right?
Only
clean
cans.
their
Oh my
restrooms are
God.
kept? We believe in a hospital clean environment. There should be no difference between the front of the house, the back of the house,
Or the
our
hospital.
restrooms.
Yeah, we want a person in like some sort of fourth stage of renal failure to be like moaning in our bathroom because it's hospital ready. Like, really relax our visitors as they're taking a gross shit and leaving their skid marked underwear on the floor of the bathroom because, I'm not going to take those home. They go, maybe that'll keep people from shitting on the floor if they're uncomfortable with a dying patient in the room.
Put yourselves in the guest's shoes. Would you want to use a dirty restroom? Probably not. We use a checklist to ensure we don't miss a thing.
I'm sure
Just
you
follow
do.
the checklist and check
Sure you
off
do,
as you
son.
go. Attached to that checklist should be restroom keys to open any locks for trash or toilet paper. If there are no keys, ask your trainer or manager for them. Check toilet paper and paper towel levels to ensure we never run out.
Yeah, make sure you restock it with 19,000 miles of less than one ply. Because we want our customers to accidentally touch their buttholes often.
Open and replace if necessary. Make sure toilets and urinals are flush.
Oh, and make sure the paper towels are like nothing below 60 grit. If our patients, after touching their butthole, feel like they can come to the sink and have a pleasant experience of like washing the shit off their hands and drying them. I want them to leave with fucking skeleton hands. You touch your butthole, you just sand all the skin off your hands.
Flushed and the
I
sinks
can't
and mirrors
handle
are
David
clean.
saying butthole.
Ensure the floors are kept clean and dry.
Filthy,
Don't forget about the
perverted
bathe
world.
changing station. Make sure it's wiped down and clean, as well as stocked. Remember, mom and dad's most precious asset are their kids, and cleanliness.
Kiss my asset. And P.S. No. Every time my kid needed to have his diaper changed in public, I would have to wipe that shit down so he didn't catch like some sort of flesh-eating bacteria or E. coli.
Right, and not only that, like we'd also put another cover on top of it.
Like, holy shit, people are disgusting. And again, I'm apparently a unicorn that does the bare minimum to make sure people get their shit done and don't catch some sort of heinous disease. Everyone else says, fuck it.
Cleanliness everywhere is critically important to them. One great idea is to set the store's timer for every 30 minutes
The turd timer, if you will.
The turd timer.
Set off the bathroom cooker.
to remind us all to team clean. When the timer goes off, restrooms, beverage bars, and ice are all checked.
Let's check the toilet paper again.
Now that you've been shown
Here's the thing. Like, when I was, again, the supervisor at Jungle Jim's Playland, at the end of the night, I would have to hand off duty cards. So one was like mopping, one was sweeping, one was bathrooms, one was this, one was that. And like, you know, nobody wanted bathrooms, obviously. And I didn't want them, but when I was the supervisor, I didn't have to do them anymore because, holy shit, the higher you climb up the corporate ladder, the less shit you have to do. You just have to make sure the grunts under you are doing it.
Yep.
So one day I knew the bathroom was totally fucked. So I walked in there and I go, this is totally fucked. There was shit all over the small stall, like from ceiling to the floor and on the walls. And there was a human adult male's pair of boxer briefs full of shit on the floor. Like, it wasn't like a pair of Paw Patrol undies that like some kid was like, I don't know what to do. This is my first whatever. An adult man shit himself to completion, threw his underwear on the floor, and then he must have been like a bomb where like after he took his underwear off, like the fuse started and he exploded and shit flew everywhere because he was a turd bomb. So that was the night I was like handing off the cards to people being like, here you go. Not telling them what was up because I knew, I just wanted them to do it. So 4 people came back to me with that card that said bathrooms on it and said no. Not like, I don't think, or I don't, maybe, I'm not going, just a flat out no. Nobody would fucking do it. So my manager at the time, DJ, I go, dude, it's a fucking disaster in the bathroom and nobody is going to clean it because everyone I've given the card to stepped 1 foot in the door, turned around, told me to fuck myself. Okay? So I had a friend working with me at the time, and the only reason I didn't give him the bathroom card is because we were friends. So DJ goes, all right, let me see what I can do. So he reaches into his back pocket and pulls out his wallet, and he says, I've got $33 on offer to whoever cleans that bathroom. So go back out there, find someone beneath you who will do it, and I'll give them this dollars.
I don't blame them.
No. So finally I went to my friend at the time. I said, hey, man, I know it sucks, but no one wants to do it. And I said, if you clean the men's bathroom or the bathrooms of the card, DJ will give you $32. And he goes, whoa, cool. I go, okay. We get to the bathroom and I waited for him to be like, no, fuck this, because it was a disaster. He did it. But like, what a harrowing experience. Because I said, here are the gloves. Pull them up to your elbows. Here's a brush. Here's this. Here's that. And since we were friends, I shared the burden, not necessarily of cleaning, but I stayed in the bathroom with him to sort of lend moral support. And at one point, he like looks up over the stall and he goes, do I need these gloves? And I go,
I highly recommend it.
I said, that's a personal decision, but I would use them. And he goes,
oh my God.
threw them off, and he's like, this is so much better. I really like the feel of human feces on my bare skin. I mean, he didn't say that, obviously, but that was the implication I got. Moral of the story is, it was terrible. He made himself $32 that night. But that's it. I think that's it for Chuck E. Cheese. We basically know what's going on.
What's the Oasis station?
I don't care. No one cares.
All right.
Jernan? Was it Jernan? Jernan. Am I missing something? Jernan.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm bad at references. Fosco and Jameson seem to be able to hit the old movies. Ryan, with you and me, it's hit and miss. But that's where we're at. He cleaned up turds. Boy, oh boy. $32 was made that night, not by myself, obviously.
Oh, bleh. German people scat porn.
Oh! I mean, if they were shooting that in a Jungle Jim's bathroom, I mean, God bless them, but like, I didn't see any camera crew. This is before, like, small technology, you know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. Like, you know, in Jurassic Park, when Jeff Goldblum looks at that sick Triceratops's pile of shit, and he goes, that's been a big pile of shit. Imagine, like, gloving up and sticking, like, an M80 directly in the center of that thing, lit, and then just, like, waiting to see what happened. Oh, yeah, I don't know. He was, I mean, we can get into that at another time, was kind of a sex pervert, a mild one, at least in my experience. So maybe, cannot confirm. Don't want to speculate because gross. Anyway, that's it, guys. I hope this helps you if you ever decide to work at McDonald's or Chuck E. Cheese. Should they last?
Right. Should there be any left?
I mean, McDonald's for sure. Chuck E. Cheese is going to be dicey. It's like trying to find a Sears to work at. Eagle Man. Okay, let me look it up. So,
Eagle Man Insurance Chicago commercial.
There's the thing. Because I like you so much, Ryan, I'll do it. But also because I like local commercials. Oh, whoa. If you type in Eagleman, it says commercial right there.
Oh, it hurt us too, probably. Ah.
Is it called the... Okay. All right. So
there's also Eagle Woman, too.
I'm going to assume that this is right. It's from 1993. So, Ryan, you let me know.
What's that?
Do you have insurance on this car?
No.
It must
No.
be Eagle Man.
Hello?
I've got something for you.
Oh, no. I'm going to shit on your car.
Phallus just extends. Whoa, I took it.
Oh,
Bingo.
look at those low rates.
Is this it, Ryan?
He says, yep.
What's that?
This is a fucking carbon copy of the Globe car commercial. I mean, nobody shits at an egg in the Globe car commercial. The dude just goes like, thanks for coming in.
Well, now you have to find the Horn Globe commercial. I don't even know how you'd look it up, though.
I don't want to spend the rest of the night like looking up obscure local commercials, but that was a worthwhile one. Just a real quick story, because I'm not going to look it up. Andy, Adam, and Sean, my best friends at the time, lived in Reno, and you know Reno's full of casinos, and they're going to have local commercials. So I never saw this commercial, but it was described by my best friend Sean, who was like a dude in a suit who was going through all the different parts of the casino and going, perfect. So like he was in the casino part, gambling, perfect. He's in the bedroom, everything's great. He goes, perfect. He's in a jacuzzi with a bunch of floozies, in the full suit still, perfect.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just the way that shit is. But anyway, now we're really ending it. Thank you so much for showing up. We'll see you in a couple of days for more true crime content. But until then, smell you later.
Bye.
for the try to.
Fistful of Podcasts Radio.